It is that time again. Q&A video number 2. Here we go. Ask Joey Lids about random shit. Alright, so I selected about the same amount of questions as last time, 2025. So it'll probably be about the same length. Give or take, obviously. You never know how these are going to turn out. I sure don't. So, let's get to it. What's your take on the legalization of marijuana in some states? And would you ever try it again? It's definitely a step in the right direction. As a liberal, I believe all drugs should be legalized, taxed, and regulated in a much similar fashion to tobacco and alcohol. For a few reasons. First of all, it'll get rid of the black market, get rid of gang violence, and it'll also create some revenue for the government. Because, as I said before in my other Q&A video, regarding guns, prohibition doesn't work. People who want to get guns are going to get guns. People who want to get their hands on drugs are going to do so. And the ultimate evidence for prohibition not working is, well, take a look around, and obviously when they tried to ban alcohol, it was a complete hellhole, like it is now. So it's a step in the right direction. Obviously, being Americans will probably fuck it up pretty soon, but at the moment it's a step in the right direction. And no, I wouldn't ever try it again. I'm not saying I never will. I don't know. I'm not, I don't hate it, but I don't like the way it makes me feel. I'm the kind of person who likes to be energetic and hyper and awake. And all weed did was make me tired, which I just hate that feeling because I feel so lazy, and it's like, I fucking, but obviously I have nothing against smoking weed. So hey, if you're a pot smoker, smoke your fucking lungs out. What musician of your least favorite or most hated genre of music would you have to say you don't mind the most tolerable of the worst type of music in your opinion? Well, let me just preface this by saying I think pretty much all modern mainstream music is complete garbage, a complete clusterfuck of shit. It's just overproduced, poppy drivel, and just the thing I can't stand the most, two things. Auto-tune. There are some situations like backup vocals where auto-tune, can be used. I don't use it myself, but it's just cheating. And since that has, become so popular, it's just sickening. And people who lip sync, but that's kind of off topic, I guess. Which, of course, that's most modern mainstream artists, sadly. So I hate it. My favorite era of music was the 90s because I really liked the raw emotion and just the really honest and open music. That's what I like. I like music about honesty, how you feel, like true things, true feelings, true emotion, which just is virtually non-existent in the mainstream now. And I love a lot of music from the 60s, 70s, not so much 80s. But I think the reason I think the 90s was the best decade in music is because, not because all the music was better than a lot of the music back then, but I think it's because the amount of great artists and bands is much higher than it was back in the old days. That's just my opinion. Then again, I'm kind of biased since I grew up with 90s music, but that's how I feel. But the thing is, I can't just, choose one artist of one genre of music, because no matter how bad I think an artist is, it's always outdone by someone else. I'll give you an example. When I first heard of Justin Bieber in, I think, 2009 or something, I heard his first song, I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever heard. Then, like Rebecca Black came out with the fucking Friday, and it's like, this is making me consider suicide. Then you had that fucking Hot Problem song, earlier, back in 2012, and that was honestly probably the worst thing. But it's like, it's always outdone. Like, I hate Justin Bieber. I think he sucks. But then when you compare him to someone like Nicki Minaj, who is honestly probably one of the worst artists to ever exist, in my opinion, it's like, you listen to Nicki Minaj and you listen to Justin Bieber, and it's like, this is magnificent in comparison, even though it still sucks. It's always outdone. So, okay. Modern mainstream pop, which is pretty much almost all music now. fuck it all. And I can't choose one artist, but I'm going to just choose a genre for this to answer your question. If there was one genre that I don't really like, it's new country. I like old country a lot. Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, all those kind of people. Hank Williams, of course. Gene Autry. I like that. And now I don't like modern mainstream, country because to me it's just overproduced pop. It's pop with a country twist. And I like how, like, in the old days, like Johnny Cash, for example, he had a song, The Ballad of Ira Hayes. It's a true story about really who was a legend to Johnny Cash. It had true emotion. Even though a lot of drinking songs and everything did exist, that wasn't always like all country. Now it is. All country now is really about, a dull story about a fake relationship, or it's about drinking and getting wasted beneath the fucking palm trees. So I don't like it for the meaning, but the reason I'm going to choose it is because it's tolerable to listen to. At work, in the kitchen, we have a radio where we play, and a lot of the people I work with like country music. So they play new country. And I'm going to admit, it's pleasant to the ears. It's, it sounds good and it's very, very tolerable, but I think it's overproduced. I think it's more pop than country, and I think it's lacking meaning. Did that even answer your question? One question took 5 minutes. Probably didn't answer it. I go off on tangents all the time. I apologize. Hopefully that answered it somewhat. And if not, well, fuck! Question. Do you get the bitches? Also, when you do get the girls, how do you give it to them? Yeah, I have a pretty good amount. I'm not going to sit here like I'm all high and mighty like, I fuck the pussy every day. But I do get a decent amount. I have fuck buddies, which is great, because, whenever I'm horny, hey, come over here so I could fuck you. So, that's good. It's not like I get it every day. I get it a decent amount, more than I thought I would when I was a young, fat teenager, so I'm pretty happy with it. And how do I give it to them? I like to fuck them in the ass! Why don't you smoke or dip in any videos that aren't reviews? Fuck you talking about? Next question. Kidding, of course. I'm honestly surprised not more people have asked me this since I came back and started doing these different style videos. But Texas Smoking is like the first person to ask me this. The reason that I don't smoke or dip while I do videos is because I have ADHD, so my mind is just all over the place, I don't do drugs, but in my mind it's like a, I don't know, probably cocaine, I guess, because it's all hyper and do-do-do-do-do-do. See? Like, if you didn't know me, you'd think I'm on drugs. I'm not. So my mind tends to wander, and, I just find smoking or dipping, trying to do a video, is just another distraction. And I know it's probably all in my head. You're probably saying, that's fucking illogical, dude. Maybe it is, but it feels that way. If I'm smoking or dipping in a video, I just lose track. I go way off topic, and I stutter more and everything, But it's weird, though, because in real life, it's the exact opposite. Not in real life, in person, I should say. In person, I see smoking as a sociable thing. Like, if I'm with friends or something, I find it easier to, like, tell stories and just talk to people while I'm smoking. I don't know, unless they're a non-smoker, in which case they're like, oh, police! Secondhand smoke. So, yeah, it's a distraction. I just distracted myself. See, this is a tangent. That's what happens when I light up a cigarette. Now, next question. 1. What is your plan if your music does not follow through? 2. What type of classes did you take in high school? Well, this is a common misconception when I talk to people about my music and everything. People seem to automatically assume that you're trying to make a career of it. I'm not. I guess I'm aloof in the situation. If I could actually, make a career out of playing music and actually make money and everything, that'd be awesome. I'd love that. But at the same time, I'm very modest and I'm realistic, which a lot of people are like, you're too tough on yourself. And I think it's a good quality to have. It's better than being a cocky fucker who's like, bow down to me, because I can play guitar. I'm very modest, and I'm so used, just because the music I listen to that I think is great music, I'm so used to, like, telling people, no, I'm not good enough. But as we touched on earlier, the modern mainstream music, I think in reality it's that I'm just not bad enough. I'm not awesome like, great bands are, but compared to other people, I'm just not bad enough to be famous singer today. So yeah, I don't plan to make a career out of it. If I can, that's wonderful, and I'd love that. But at the same time, if it's just a hobby for my whole life, as long as there are people who want to listen, that's all that matters to me. I mean, for a long time, I never even thought I'd be able to play guitar, so that in itself is probably one of my biggest accomplishments for me anyways. So it's all about just keeping that going, whether, you make something of it or not. I pretty much just took whatever classes I thought I had the best chance at passing. Classes, because my motivation, especially once I went through puberty and my hormones were going nuts, I was going nuts, and I think that's a pretty universal thing for teenagers when we're growing up. I think we kind of lose ourselves and we just get all fucked up while that's going on. So even though there were times where I did want to pass my classes, with my hormones and everything, I just didn't give a fuck. So I just selected the classes I thought I had the best chance because I couldn't bring myself to give a fuck. Like, when I actually tried when I was interested in something, I would do fine. But the thing is, in school, I just never gave a fuck. And this went on since I was probably in 5th grade that it was 5th grade where I decided, I want to drop the fuck out of this place, but I can't yet. And I just didn't have the motivation, and I just hated it. So I just took simple stuff like art, which art I like. I'm decent at art. I'm not awesome, but I find that interesting. And then obviously there's classes you're required to take, and those are the ones that I failed like fuck. But there were certain classes I pretty much just tried to take whatever was easiest. And even in a lot of those, I just couldn't bring myself to give a fuck. So I just didn't do work. It's just like I don't care. I don't want to do this. Are you for or against or really don't give a fuck about groups like the KKK, the Black Panthers, or any of those groups? You answering my question means the world. I really wish I could come up with a really interesting answer and really go into it and delve into it. But honestly, when it comes to racist groups like the KKK, the only thing that can come to my mind is, if you're a racist, you're a fucking bigot. And, I'm sorry, but if you are, you're a fucking bigot. That's the only way I could put it. If you're racist, you're a fucking idiot. I don't even know how else to respond to it. I hope that answers your question. I'm glad it means the world to you. And now, since you said it means the world, I kind of feel like I let you down. But that's really it. But at the same time, the KKK is kind of a joke now. Back in the day, they were actually, killing people and doing everything. Now we look at them and they're fucking dumbass ghosts. It's kind of funny in a way. Not funny in, what they stand for, but just, look at them. They make themselves look like fucking idiots. How big's the cack? Well, this Pigman1391 definitely took my advice, in asking personal and semi-fucked up questions. And I'm completely fine with that. I told you I was, right? How big is the cock? Honestly, I haven't measured it in years. I was probably 14, 15 last time I did, because I don't need to. At that point, I was really still growing. Now I might still be growing a little, but it really doesn't change. But the thing is, I stopped doing it because it didn't matter, because whenever I whack off or whenever I fuck somebody, I enjoy it, the partner enjoys it, so clearly my size is sufficient. But I believe the last time I measured it, which, like I said, was quite a few years ago, I think it was around 7 inches, give or take a little bit. Which, I mean, is, it's not like a huge dangling schlong, but it's not small either, because I think the average in the U.S. is 5 or 6 inches. So it's pretty good. My scrotum hangs low down yonder! What did you do to lose weight? And any tips you could give me? Thanks in advance, brother. August. So this question I received via PM, and normally I wouldn't, take a PM question and use it for a Q&A video, especially since it wasn't intended for one. But the reason I'm choosing this is because when I went to when I checked my inbox, it was already read. It was left the 26th of December, and I don't even remember reading it. I probably woke up from a nap and read it when I was half asleep and forgot about it. So I wanted to actually to answer it because I do like the question. So this is for ACK Blade 24. Okay, so yes, I like this question, and this might take I don't know, it's hard to say, it's hard to estimate, but this one might take up a lot of minutes, but I'm going to explain. When I was about 9 years old, I put on a lot of weight. That's when I really struggled with depression back then. And I was very, very fat. I wasn't morbidly obese, but I was very, very fat for many years. And then finally, July 2009, I finally said, you know what, that's the end of this. I'm going on a diet and I'm losing the weight. So I started in July 2009, and the diet went through August 2009. And by the end of August 2009, I went from weighing 225 pounds to weighing 175 pounds. And to this day, I still weigh about 180, so that's not bad at all. And a lot of people ask, like, how the hell do you lose weight that fast? Like, how did you lose that much weight that fast? Because they're amazed, and then they start thinking, like, did you start using, like, drugs or anything, or what did you do? It's like, no, I was so sick of being fat, and I'd finally, had help with my depression, and I was finally happy, and I could finally say, you know what, I'm going to change this about me. It's been bothering me for this many years, and because of that, that just gave me that willpower and just took me away. So I do have the tips. I did I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to lose the weight. And honestly, I don't know. I can't really give tips on keeping it off. I know a lot of people tend to ask when they talk to me about this. They're like, well, how do you keep it off? It's like, I don't know. I just did. I stopped the diet that August, and I've still kept all the weight off. I guess when you're really dedicated and you really change your eating habits and drinking habits, I guess I just got used to it that way, and I realized this is a lot better because I started to feel better, I guess that's how. But I'm going to give you the tips on how I actually did lose the weight. Okay, so first and foremost, for that whole summer, and even actually a couple months after, I drank nothing but water. I'm not even kidding you. Like, you're probably thinking, like, I drank mostly water and treated myself every once in a while. No. For those, 2, 3, 4 months, I drank nothing but water. That's good. Obviously, if you're drinking a lot of soda and stuff, if you want to lose weight, stop. I stopped using salt on any food, and I still haven't used any salt since I stopped using salt for my diet. Because I guess once I stopped using salt, I learned to appreciate the taste of food for itself instead of covering it up with salt. Obviously, if I really wanted to, I could start using salt again. But salt is really bad for you, obviously. I mean, it's okay in moderation, but if you're looking to lose weight, and if you can't just stop outright, at least just cut back and kind of maybe wean yourself off, or just cut back. So no salt. No junk food. I think that's pretty obvious, like a lot of people who go on diets, they're really careful. Like, they go to the grocery store and they read the labels, make sure there's no, preservatives and stuff. I never did that. I just stopped eating shit, and I ate food that I thought was healthy. Basically, if you're eating a lot, because I did, I used to eat I used to eat 5-6 meals a day. I cut back to 2 or 3. Sometimes I like breakfast, sometimes I don't. Make sure your meals are, they're good portions, lesser portions, and make sure it's a good variety. Say you're going to have steak one night. Have steak, and be sure to have, something like, a vegetable like broccoli and rice with it. Have a well-portioned meal. And another thing I never did was, a lot of people count the calories on boxes and make sure they eat their, daily supply. I never did that either. I didn't find it necessary. I think if you really, I really don't think it's necessary. I know some people are like that. I never was, and it was successful for me. Now, I know if you pretty much are a compulsive eater, if you're a decent amount overweight, even if it's not severe, you are a compulsive eater. I know I was. And so I know that when you try to go on a diet, it's going to be hard when you have cravings to eat when you're not supposed to. So what I would recommend doing is just stock up on a bunch of fruit and vegetables if you like. I love both fruits and vegetables. Just stock up on fruit and vegetables, get a nice variety, a little bit of everything really, and just, eat fruit or vegetables when you get a craving. It helped me, and also another thing to help me if that doesn't work, because it's not 100% going to work, but it will help. And another thing that will help is if you get a craving for food, just drink a crap load of water, because that will fill you up, and obviously it'll hydrate you and stuff, so that's good. But it will help fill you up too, so it'll help hold you over. I think obviously no in between snacks. I mean, here and there they're okay. I went full out and just did 2 or 3 meals a day, and that was it. You can treat yourself every once in a while, but be careful, because I found, I've heard that when you decide to treat yourself after being on a diet, that just starts it all up again, which I could definitely see that happening. I think that's why I was so strict not to really treat myself like, yeah, you know what, I've been dieting for a while now and I've lost some weight, so I'm going to have a huge greasy pizza. Then it's like, well, you know what, a fucking whole bag of Cheetos won't hurt either, and you just, yeah. So, you can, but if you do, be careful. And pretty much, the no in-between snacks. Make sure you eat dinner before 8 p.m. I mean, even if you're, like, up all night like I am, it's still not good because you're not really doing much. You're not really exercising, and so it's just going to kind of turn into fat. You'll burn some of it off, but you can only burn off so much fat, typing on your keyboard. I always did 8 p.m. Some people have said that theory is bullshit because the next day you can just wake up and burn those calories off. But why bother? If you don't do it in the first place, you don't have to burn the calories off. So fuck it. So that's what I did. 8, sometimes 8:30 if I was feeling daring. And you're probably wondering about exercise. I just mentioned it. I'm not the exercise type. Well, to an extent. I like cardio stuff. I'm not great at it, but I do like stuff like treadmills or whatever, stuff like that. So I did a little bit of that, but really the main thing I did was every day I took a 2-hour walk. I never jogged or ran or anything. I know a lot of people do. Those are really bad for like your knee joints and everything. Just go, with a friend or bring an iPod or some music and just go out for a walk for, about a 2-hour walk. Walking is a lot healthier than you would think. A lot of people think walking is walking. We do it all the time, but we're not losing weight. It's because we're not walking enough. But if you truly want to lose weight, walking will help. And I found it really put me in this peaceful state of mind, and it made me really feel good about myself. And I think that's about it. Sorry, my memory's kind of foggy. That's why it's taken so long to get through this, because this was a few years ago. So sometimes I forget, exactly what I did. I guess the last bit of advice I have to give for you is I consider myself lucky that I lost the weight so fast. This was before I smoked, so it's not like that helped me in any way. I was lucky. I understand that a lot of people try to lose weight and they fail. Look, I'm not saying you're going to lose weight as fast as I did. So don't get discouraged. After a week of dieting, don't jump over to the scale and expect you to have shed a bunch of weight. If you truly want to lose weight, just stick to it. Stick to what I did. Just really stay dedicated. Stay on it. No matter how hard it gets, do it. Because that's what it is. Even if it takes you longer to lose weight, if you stay committed to it, you will lose it, regardless. So don't discourage yourself. Wait a few weeks after you start to weigh yourself, because I know that it discourages a lot of people when they see they've only lost like a pound or two within the first week. Don't let that get to you. Be committed, and you can do it. What is something fun that you're good at that most people don't know about? Examples: pool, bowling, darts, basketball, etc. I really had to think hard about this question, because I don't know, because for me, when it comes to things that I'm good at or I think I'm good at, it's guitar and singing, and that's strictly. Obviously, there's other things that I would like to think I'm good at, just with computers in general, video editing, picture editing, and stuff. I mean, I am an amateur, but I do think I deal pretty well with, low-quality programs I have, with the exception of Sony Vegas. So besides that stuff, something that, that's really something that is never really brought up or something that I really don't do anymore. First of all, it's weird because actually 2 of your suggestions are 2 things that I'm good at. Well, first of all, let me tell you, your examples are pool, bowling, darts, basketball. Pool, I absolutely suck at. It's embarrassing. I see a pool table and I just want to puke on my schlong because it brings me back to the memories of sucking so badly. Basketball, I don't know. I don't even remember the last time I played it because I'm not very athletic. But bowling and darts, yeah. I go bowling very, very rarely. Just because, my family and stuff don't really like bowling. None of my friends are really interested in it. But when I do go bowling, I tend to do really good. I love it. It's really fun for me. I actually want to start going to the bowling alley. So, that's good. which is weird because I've never had any practice. I just go in there and fuck shit up. And darts I'm pretty good at. I don't have a dartboard, sadly. I might get one. I might. I'm not good at the game darts. I'm good at, throwing the darts at people and puncturing the fuck out of their eyeballs and fleeing the crime scene. Kidding. I'm good at that too, but I'm also actually good at darts. Pretty good. I'm not like a fucking master, but, I've been told that I'm pretty good, and I'm sure if I had a dartboard and actually practiced, I would be. But besides that, it was really hard for me to think, but I guess, I know I cut that space in the middle out, but I've been sitting here for like 5 minutes trying to think. I probably should have thought of this before question. But that's why I selected this question, because I actually wanted to think and say, what the fuck else am I good at that most people don't know? So give me some more time. Okay, so I've thought of a few. First of all, and this is going to sound lame, but I find it fun because I'm an absolute neat freak. I'm great at doing chores, laundry, just cleaning, and all this good stuff. I'm very good at it. I'm very thorough. So I'm really good at that. Not to sound like a cocky cock, but I am. I'm not going to lie. Other than that, I'm pretty good at drawing. I don't draw much because I have the attention span of a peanut with a fucking peanut for a cock. But when I do draw, I'm pretty decent. I'm not awesome, but I can, draw characters from shows and stuff. I can't draw, like, original stuff because it gets too fucked up and you can't even tell what it is because my thoughts are just... And besides that, I'm good with parts. Let me explain what I mean. Ever since I was a little kid, I always loved taking things apart and putting them back together exactly as they were. Just electronics and all that kind of stuff. And that really helped me out to this day. Because I'm good at it and I'm better at it. Like, for example, guitars. I can interchange the parts, I can solder new stuff, I can replace the wires, and I can make a guitar that was just an acoustic, I can make it an acoustic electric. So I'm good with parts. And I find it very fun. The thing is, it can be a challenge sometimes. Usually I don't even read up how to do it. But everything I've done has turned out successful. I like to do things on my own until, I get it right. I find it fun. I enjoy it. So yeah, that's just kind of that's probably the main one right there that I don't tell most people because no one really probably gives a fuck. So yeah. I'm really going off on tangents today, huh? Wow. 1. Would you rather be rich or healthy? 2. Would you rather be good-looking or rich? Would I rather be rich or healthy? I'd rather be healthy. But then again, supposing you don't mean like either be rich and unhealthy or healthy and poor. I don't need a lot of money. I'd much rather have my health, but at the same time, if that's kind of how you were doing, I still wouldn't want to be poor. So I'm just choosing healthy. And would I rather be good-looking or rich? I'm not self-conscious about my appearance. A lot of people are. I mean, I was when I was overweight, but I think that's understandable. But, like, I'm not self-conscious about the way I look. I do try to look nice, but, like, I don't fear aging or anything like that. I don't fear wrinkles. I don't fear going gray. I kind of fear going bald, but overall, not really self-conscious. I'd like to think I'm okay looking. I'm not saying I'm the fucking sexy beast with nipples so hard it can crack stone. I'd like to think I'm not hideous, ladies. I don't know. I've heard a little of both over the internet, trust me. I've had internet stalkers who just want to fuck the fuck out of me, and then I've had people like, you're ugly as shit, but I still want to be your friend. It's like, oh great, it's good to know that, my appearance isn't going to play a role in our fucking friendship. If you had to choose, which would you give up, smoking or dip? This is a really tough question. I honestly don't even remember picking it, but I must have. Because I like smoking and dipping for much different reasons. I do both regularly, but I guess if I had to give up one, I'd give up dipping. I guess smoking is kind of my default, even though I do both a lot. Because, smoking is what I got into first, and it's just kind of where I started and what I like the best, I guess. So I guess I would give up dip, even though I love dip dearly. Don't go! What's your favorite food? Steak. I like a nice big fucking mound of steak. I love red meat. And that's so bad for my heart. I mean, I know I'm a smoker and a dipper, and I know that's already bad as it is, but I love red meat so much. Like, I could eat red meat pretty much every day of the week. So that's not good. I do control myself, but steak is my favorite food. And along with pizza, pub pizza, the kind I cook at my work, and soup. They have awesome... Oh, I cook the pizzas at my work. I make good pizzas. I love them. And they have fantastic soups at my work. So, medium rare steak, pizza, and soup. By the way, soup and stew are the same damn thing. They just have a different name. Do you have any Damn it, tattoos, yeah. Do you have any tattoos? If not, what do you want? None. I want none. I want none! No, I don't have any tattoos, and I don't want any. I have nothing against tattoos. If tattoos are your thing, hey, tattoo your fucking scrotum for all I care. That's fine. I have this weird thing, and it's not for any particular reason, but it's just how I am. I want my body to be how it was when I was born. I want my body to be my body. I don't want to, alter it in any permanent ways. I don't want to change it. I want my body to be my body, and I want it to be that. I know it's weird, and a lot of people are like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" A lot of people think that's nuts. I know that's probably kind of cynical, but that's just how I am. And it's also the same with being an organ donor or donating my body to science. I can't do it. I know it's a great thing to do, and I would love to be able to do that, but I want my body to rest whole as it was. I don't want people cutting me open and poking around. I want my body to rest whole so it can, even though it gets decomposed. That's just how I am. It's not any religious or moral thing. That's just how I am. I know it's fucking weird. That's just how I am. Don't make fun of me, or I'll dock your schlump. Besides SpongeBob, what other shows do you really like? I don't watch a lot of TV. Because most of it's complete fucking utter garbage. These reality shows they have make me want to curl up in a corner and rip out my testicles and shove them up my fucking ass. That's how much I hate them. You have these shows like Jersey Shore, Honey Boo Boo, 16 and Pregnant, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Whenever I, flick through the channels and see one of these shows, I really contemplate suicide. These shows make me fucking sick. It's horrendous. I have a very skewed, select few kind of shows I like. Obviously, SpongeBob. I like House MD. I like some HGTV shows, and I really like the Adult Swim lineup for the most part. There are some shows I don't like, but I love Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Family Guy, which is a Fox show, but they play it on there. Squidbillies. I like those kind of shows. So mostly animated. Also, Law and Order is pretty good. Forensic shows are still great. And they're actually getting better, but it's just all this other shit taking over, that really is the problem. What's your favorite soda? You really asking that? You asking me what my favorite soda is really shows that I don't think you've seen many of my videos, because in so many of them I rant and rave about Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is my favorite, preferably Mountain Dew Throwback, but I pretty much like them all. But lately I've been enjoying some diet sodas. I've finally acquired the taste. At my work, they only have Coke products. They don't have Pepsi products, and no Mountain Dew or anything. So when I'm there, I drink Diet Coke, and I've really learned to like it. I really like it with a lime and lemon wedge in there. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm drinking right now. So I'm gonna say Mountain Dew Throwback and Diet Coke. But still, you should have already known about the Mountain Dew. This is beyond me. If I were to fill up 2 2-liter bottle of Grizz Wintergreen Spit, would you drink them for $250? Absolutely not. I just wouldn't. I would never drink any dip spit. My own, anyone else's, absolutely not. And as for $250, I have a job. I've been working there since October. I have $1,000 in my wallet, and I've barely spent any of it. So I really don't need any money because I'm not a huge spender. How's your love life? What love life? I'm kidding, of course. Let me explain. I said earlier in the video that I have fuck buddies or friends with benefits or whatever the fuck you call them. And that's all I want. I'm not a relationship person. I just don't want a relationship. Maybe that will change sometime in my life, but at the moment, it's not even an interest to me. I know some people my age are like, I'm so lonely, I can't get this. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want a relationship. Quite frankly, I like being single. I like the freedoms of it. again, that might change somewhere in my life, but I enjoy being single and, being able to fuck pretty much, a variety. So, good, I guess.
SpongeBob is awesome. What's your favorite episode?
Hard to narrow it down to one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick two. I'm going to pick an older episode and a more recent episode. For older episodes, I think my favorite is probably, as much as I love them all, Chocolate with Nuts, the one when they go out and sell chocolate bars. It's pretty much just nonstop comedy and fucked upness in that episode. It's just epic. As for new episodes, there's an episode, I don't know, you probably haven't seen it, because a lot of people hate the new SpongeBob, but, fuck them. Fuck the haters. Haters gonna hate. It's called Planet of the Jellyfish, pretty much where these evil alien jellyfish, take over Bikini Bottom and they create pods out of all the Bikini Bottomites and everything. It's because I like it because it's I like how it's creepy and it's weird and it's freaky. I like that in a kid's show. I like how it's kind of dark and everything. It's great. So if you ever get the chance, watch that episode if you haven't, because it's epic as shit.
19. I want to start making smoke vids here on YouTube. Any advice?
I'd really love to be able to give you advice, but as I was reflecting on this question, I realized I really can't, because I didn't start by being a smoker. I started my channel by being a dipper. And then eventually I, changed to smoke for a while and then to both and, whatever. So I didn't start off. By the time I switched to smoking videos, I already had my subscriber base. So it's really hard for me to give advice for smoking videos. I wish I could, but all I can say is try to be thorough, try to speak well to the camera, try to be funny, try not to be shy. Edit your videos, try to edit them well. Just try to make them good. I know that's kind of a shitty, lame answer, but that's all I can really say. Be funny, or try to be funny.
How many times a day do you dip?
Final question. And I really hate this question. Because people ask, how many times, a day do you dip? How many, packs of cigarettes or cigars a day do you smoke? Like what? Do you think, I have, a set amount? You think, I have it written down, today, I'm going to fucking smoke 2 packs, You think I'm, no, it's always random. It depends. Some days I smoke and dip a shitload. Some days I barely do it all. It's completely at random. Yeah. And I just realized that this is a shitty question to answer on. But what the fuck? Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm not looking forward to editing it, but I don't give a fuck, because I am going to do it. I hope you enjoyed. Like this video if you like this video. Dislike it if you suck dick. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. I don't want to edit this.